Live from Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan, welcome to the United Shore Professional Baseball League. This evening, a Friday night showdown between the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers and the Utica Unicorns. Greetings, everyone, alongside Casey Harris. I'm Brad Golder. Another nice night for baseball here. A little warm, slight clouds overhead, but should be a very nice night for baseball. We'll have post-game fireworks as well, as many fans are making their way through the turnstiles now and getting set for a night of baseball. And Casey, we got a matchup here with Birmingham Bloomfield and Utica. And really all season long, it's been Birmingham Bloomfield leading the way. And as we start getting towards the home stretch here in the USPBL season, it's looking like it's a clear-cut favorite for them to win the championship. If they maintain this first-place lead, they'd get that bye in the first round of the playoffs. Wouldn't have to play the first round right into the second round. But obviously anything can happen. Utica's in last place, but still anyone's league here up for grabs with less than a month left to go in this season.
And yes, you're absolutely correct. But with that being said, Birmingham is 4-6 in their last 10. They're currently on a 4-game losing streak, and they're looking for a win any way they can get it. Tonight they'll be looking towards not Nick Jensen-Clegg. They're looking forward to Forrest Kumis to break the losing slump. And his last start on August 13th against the Unicorns, it was an ugly 16-0 loss where he only went one inning. But in that, it was a relief appearance where he struck out one, faced a batter, or only walked a batter, faced four, and he'll be looking to build on that in today's game. Yeah,
Forrest Kumis put up some really good numbers when you start looking at some of the peripherals. Only 23 hits allowed in 36 innings really stands out to me. An opponent's batting average of 180, and he doesn't give up a lot of extra base contact. No home runs allowed all season as well for Forrest Kumis. Guy's got experience in the Southeastern Conference, playing for a very good program at South Carolina. And, when you look at players in the USPBL, as far as a college career, here's one of the most decorated players coming into the USPBL coming into this season.
Yes, you're absolutely right with that. He's been to 2 national championships, won one of them, and he's the type of guy you can depend on him in any situation. He's been in high-pressure situations before, and this is just a walk in the park for him.
That being said, as great as Forrest Kumis has been, he has not put together a single game performance quite like his mound opponent here today, Donnie Murray. The good news for him on his season is he has thrown a no-hitter. The bad news, if you want to look at it, is that's his only win of the year. Donnie Murray comes in with a 1-5 record.
Yes, Donnie Murray, 3.10 ERA on the season, 1-5. Although I don't always like to look at wins and losses as a great indication of good pitching. 13 games this season, 8 starts, 1 complete game, which was the no-hitter, 1 save, and 55 innings of work, 68 strikeouts. He is a native of Boston, Massachusetts, and like you said, he'll be looking to gain his 2nd win of the afternoon.
He's really gained some confidence as he's moved into the rotation and threw that no-hitter early on in his time in the rotation. A lot of strikeouts for Donnie Murray on the year, 68 strikeouts over 55 innings of work this season, and pretty low walk total, too, when you look at those 16 walks. Not a very high walk total for him this season, and even though he doesn't have that opponent's batting average in the ones like Kumis had, a 225 opponent's batting average, still pretty impressive this year for Donnie Murray.
Yes, and he'll be looking towards his offense to kind of gain some momentum. The Unicorns themselves have been very good the last few games, 5-5. They're currently, I believe, they're on a 5-game winning streak, but they'll be looking forward to guys like Austin Crutcher, who's just been tearing the ball up lately, and other guys, Ian Yetsko, their leadoff hitter. He is going to be one of the most potent pieces in this game today.
Yeah, certainly. And you look at these two teams, and with Birmingham Bloomfield and Utica, both teams have that star guy in the middle of the order. And, I would kind of equate it to as between Austin Crutcher and Nick Wilson, those are both price of admission guys that are, worth going to see when you go to a game. And quite frankly, at the minor league level, whether it's in unaffiliated ball like this or any minor league level, there aren't a whole lot of price of admission guys. You know, you go to a Tigers game, you want to see Miguel Cabrera. And you go to a Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers game, obviously it's not the same baseball, but you want to see Nick Wilson. I mean, a guy that has put up those kind of numbers. And you go to see Utica, you want to see Austin Crutcher. You know, you start looking at the middle of these two teams' orders, and those two guys, you know, if there will be or is, I don't even know if there will be, but if there is or will be an MVP award in the USPBL, you got to think that Nick Wilson and Austin Crutcher right now are 1 and 2 in the early exit polls for most valuable player in the USPBL.
Yes, like you said, you always want to cheer for these guys, and you want these guys to move on to the major leagues and do the best that they can possibly do. But with that being said, you kind of want them to stay here because they're such a spectacle to watch. Nick Wilson, very excellent this year. Kind of slumping as of late, though. 381 average on the year. I believe only 3 games ago it was almost in the 390s. In 33 games this year, missed a little bit of time with the groin injury, I believe. 105 at-bats, 40 hits on the season, 4 doubles, 14 home runs, including one that he hit last night. It was the one and only run given up against Jeff Conley, the winning pitcher of last night for the East Side Diamond Hoppers. 34 RBIs, 26 walks, so he can hit you a long ball and he can get you on base just with his eye.
You know, what's interesting is he kind of puts up the type of numbers that at the major league level you saw with Adam Dunn. Even though Dunn never hit for the type of average that Nick Wilson hit for, they're both guys that rarely make the defense work. When you look at Nick Wilson, if he gets a hit, it normally goes over the fence. Defense doesn't have to work for that. And when he gets on base, a lot of times it's on the walk or the hit batsman. He's got a combined 36 free passes he's reached on this year. You look at Nick Wilson's numbers, and, you know, as impressive as a 381 batting average is, he's got an on-base percentage better than 500. You know, I mean, nobody gets on base half the time, but Nick Wilson does. And then you added with this 819 slugging percentage, he's looking at a 1343 OPS, which is otherworldly. And, you know, I mean, we've talked about Austin Crutcher's put up some great numbers. Nick Wilson's have been just a little bit better, and he's playing for what is right now the first-place team, the Beavers.
You know, I have this debate with our scorekeeper, Grant Bracey, all the time in who you would rather have, Austin Crutcher or Nick Wilson. And Grant's argument is always that he believes that Austin Crutcher is a more five-tool player, more versatile, a little bit better in the field. But I don't know. With these types of offensive numbers, I don't know how you could pass up on Nick Wilson, the leading OPS hitter in the USPBL. And this guy's just putting up a season. And like I said, I hope he doesn't leave here anytime soon because he's so enjoyable to watch.
Crutcher's very close in the home runs, 13, and I didn't think anybody was going to get close to Nick Wilson at what about the midpoint of this season. But Crutcher is getting close, 14 to 13. And the one thing that Crutcher does have is those stolen base totals. 17 of 18 stealing bases this year, which it's the top stolen base number in the league. And when you combine it with his power numbers, you know, I think that's certainly kind of a feather in the cap of Austin Crutcher. And it's almost like a couple years ago when everybody was making the Trout or Cabrera comparison. And Crutcher is maybe more complete the way that Trout was, but Wilson, like Cabrera was that year, puts up the better power numbers.
You look at Nick Wilson, and just right off the bat, he towers over you. He is just so tall. And with that, he's born to be a power hitter. You can see here, Austin Crutcher has created 37 and a half runs this season, while Nick Wilson has created more. He's created 43 and a third runs per game. Not per game, but over the season. Just, they're both tearing the cover off of the ball, and they've got an incredible staff behind them to support them. And it looks like the Beavers have been the winners so far, just getting out, having an awesome record so far. And like you said, they're probably en route to perhaps the USPBL championship.
Beavers will bat first. Casey's got their starting lineup in just a moment. Utica has taken the field. And before we get set for today's game and before our starting lineups, we honor America with our national anthem. Being performed by Michelle Inkoviak.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Spectacular job. Let's give her a hand, folks.
What a beautiful rendition of the national anthem. So let's get down to it. Our starting lineup for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, managed by none other than Chris Newell. Batting first today, number 17, the center field, Dave Pepe. Batting second, the third baseman, number 10, Dan Kennan. Batting third, the first baseman, the big man, Nick Wilson. Batting fourth, the left fielder, number 19, DJ G. Batting fifth, the DH, number 24, Kevin Worth. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 18, Miles Williams. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 40, Logan Sperlin. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 1, Austin Laritz. And playing shortstop, number 2, and batting ninth, DJ Martinez. And the Beavers will once again send to the mound Forrest Kumis.
Donnie Murray going through his warm-up tosses on the mound. Mr. No-Hit, the guy that really brought some of the first on-field notoriety to the USPBL after he threw a no-hitter earlier this season. The Unicorns clad in their home white uniforms, purple caps with red bills, and he is backed defensively by Crutcher in left, Raw in center, and Cruz in right field. Left to right on the infield, Naren, Yetsko, Page, and Logsden, with Hamner doing the catching tonight for the Utica Unicorns. Unicorns come in at 16 and 22. They are in the basement position right now in the USPBL, but we've seen, especially lately, a little bit of a shrinking of the lead for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers in the standings of late. They have shown that they are hardly invincible. And as we've talked about the playoff format here, you know, the regular season title is going to be really nice, and the Beavers are in prime position to lock that up. But their work is hardly done from that point. They're going to have to win. Whichever team gets that first spot, and it's looking like it's the Beavers, they're going to have to win the championship game in a one-game do-or-die matchup against the round one winner, which would be the second and third place team. So, just getting that league championship, it gives them a one-round bye, but it hardly guarantees a championship for the team that wins the regular season. Dave Pepe will lead things off, left-handed hitter. In fact, the only left-handed swinger in the Beavers lineup here this evening. And he will lead things off against the right-hander, Donnie Murray.
That is right. Dave Pepe, the leadoff hitter for the Beavers this season, hitting .294, 1 home run, 7.
First pitch of the ball game is a called strike down the middle at the knees, and we are underway. 87 degrees is our game time temperature. Say partly cloudy. Actually, let's be optimistic. Mostly sunny skies as we get underway here at Jimmy John's Field. Second pitch from Murray, and a ground ball and an off-speed pitch rolled towards second. Page has it. Fires to first, one away.
Like you said, a beautiful night for baseball on a beautiful August summer night. And like you keep talking about, the championship game, September 11th, it seems like it's far away, but it's coming up close.
I got to tell you, from my perspective, this season has flown by.
Oh, I agree 100% with that.
Dan Kinnan steps in, 305 hitter, 2 homers, 18 driven in. Gets on base better than 40% of the time for this Beavers squad. Donnie Murray's third pitch of the ball game, right down the middle so far. Nothing but strikes for Donnie Murray.
And that's going to be a key to success in this game. He's going to have to go out and be aggressive to the hitters. You notice in his no-hitter, he was very, very efficient.
Takes a deep breath, rocks back in the 0-1 to Kennan. Taken high, 1-1 to the third baseman.
And in that no-hit attempt, Donnie Murray was very efficient, like I said, out in front of the hitters, just fooling them with all sorts of breaking balls. A start for the ages.
Kennan steps out, and Donnie Murray does some amateur groundskeeping on the mound, digs a little bit of a deeper hole near the rubber. Now set to go on the 1-1. And that one's lifted by Kennan, right field side. Long run for Logsden. And the ball hits one of the picnic umbrellas down that right field line. It's 1-2 to Kennan.
Kennan being at the top of the order has scored 30 runs, has 40 hits on the season. One of the many Beavers that have over a 300 average, with Nick Wilson and the recently departed Alex Bell.
So a 1-2 count to Kennan. Murray has a little bit of a pause after kicking back. Delivers a ball that bounces in, blocked by Hamner. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's a good pitch, by the way. Even though it was bouncing in the dirt, tried to fool Kennan, tried to get him to swing out of the strike zone. But Kennan, being the good hitter that he is, wasn't really having it.
Big Nick Wilson looms in the on-deck circle for the Beavers. Beavers in their alternate attire, a navy blue top with gray pants.
What do you think about those uniforms?
They're good. 2-2. Down the middle but low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. I know it's not traditional, but I think my favorite pairing so far this year is the lime green Diamond Hoppers uniforms that have the lily pads.
Yeah, those are sharp. You don't really see too many uniforms like that with animal print on them.
3-2 to Kennan. Fly ball, shallow center. Raw comes in. About 8 steps, makes a 2-handed catch. And there are 2 away here in the top half of the first inning. And the first baseman, Nick Wilson, steps in. We were agog over his numbers in the pregame, but they bear repeating. 381 batting average with a league best 14 home runs and 34 RBIs. He has an OPS, that's on base plus slugging, of 1343. Big 6'6" frame, right-handed batter's box, and a breaking ball is called strike 1.
Nick Wilson, he is the second in the USPBL for RBIs. He is 11 shy of Austin Crutcher, another man we talked about earlier, for the USPBL Triple Crown.
The 0-1 offering, taken, just missed away, and it's 1-1. You know, some of his home runs this year, too, have been balls that have left the building very quickly. Very hard hit, but not high off the ground, just bullet line drives.
And he's had other home runs that have just towered over.
Hit that one hard on one hop to short. Yetsko backs up on it, makes the grab, and fires across the diamond in time for out number 3. So Donnie Murray sets down the Beavers 1-2-3 in the top half of the first inning. Before the bottom half of the first inning, we owe you the starting lineups for the Utica Unicorns, who come in at 16 and 22.
Yes, the Utica Unicorns, managed by none other than Greg Grawl. Batting first for the Unicorns, the shortstop number 8, Ian Yetsko. Batting second, the center fielder number 11, Brandon Raw. Batting third, the third baseman number 22, Connor Naron. Batting fourth, the left fielder number 3, Austin Crutcher. Batting fifth, the right fielder number 4, Chris Cruz. Batting sixth, the first baseman number 7, Michael Logsden. Batting 7th, the DH, number 10, Tyler McVicker. Batting 8th, the catcher, number 15, Kyle Hamner. And batting 9th, the second baseman, number 1, Matt Page.
So those are the starters for the Utica Unicorns, and they will face right-hander Forrest Kumis for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, as the right-hander from South Carolina continues his warm-up tosses. He's backed defensively by G in left, Pepe in center, and Williams in right field. Infield left to right, Kennan, Martinez, Laritz, and Wilson. And Sperlin does the catching for the right-hander Kumis. 4 wins, no losses, and a 2.5 ERA. This will be his 6th start and his 13th overall appearance. Not a lot of hits allowed, 23 in 36 innings. And that accounts for a 180 opponent's batting average. And no one in the USPBL has taken him deep yet this year. 21 walks in 36 innings. And just about a strikeout an inning, 35 strikeouts. He'll face Oakland University product Ian Yetzko to begin things. 248 hitter with 3 homers and 14 driven in. And the first pitch from Kumis. Swing and a miss by Yetzko.
Yetzko is one of those guys, native of DeWitt, Michigan, a small town just north of Lansing.
0-1. Off speed pitch low, 1-1.
Yetzko hitting .248 this season with 3 home runs, 14 RBIs.
This one's fouled back off the net, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes to Yetzko.
Yetzko is one of those guys who came into the USPBL and the Unicorns kind of halfway through the season, and as a part of, I want to say, the revamped Unicorns. Really done a good job, Greg Grawl has, in bringing in new talent after kind of slumping through the first part of the season.
Breaking ball gets Yetzko swinging for the first out. So far, a pitcher's duel, 4 up, 4 down between the two teams. And another guy that was part of that revamp for the Unicorns, Raw, was not on the opening day roster. But Brandon's done a nice job, 257 hitter with 6 homers and 16 driven in. And he takes up and in with a fastball.
That ball was high right around the letters.
Breeze blowing left to right now as Raw takes one low and a 2-0 count. Another good crowd on hand here today. Fireworks. That's the magic cure across minor league baseball. If you say fireworks, you're going to get a pretty good crowd on hand. The 2-0 offering to Raw. Fastball down the middle but low, and it's 3-0.
I don't expect Raw to get the green light here, but if he would, he'd have to be looking for something right down the plate, maybe a fastball or an off-speed pitch like a changeup. I wouldn't get anything with a lot of movement on it, though.
He's taking, and it's right down the middle for a strike. Connor Narin waits on deck. You look at it, first 3 in the Unicorns order, all newcomers with varying degrees of newness. That one is a late called strike 2, and Raw had already flipped the bat to the Jimmy John's logo halfway between third and home. Takes a second look back at the home plate umpire.
The umpires in this league, they never appreciate the batter throwing the bat. You always notice, at least a lot of the time, that if they do throw the bat on a ball that may be an inch or 2 off the plate, they'll pull the batter back and they'll call it a strike.
I think that's on the umpire, though. His timing was off from his normal strike call. He waited, and I think when you wait, the umpire or the batter defaults and thinks it's a ball. I put that on him. I thought he waited too long to make the call, and by the time he did, the batter had already flipped it away. 3-2 pitch. Did he go? It was upstairs. He did go, and he is rung up on strikes. And I don't think Brandon Ross too happy. I don't think he liked the second strike. I thought he went on that one, but he's not too happy at himself for offering at what would have been ball 4.
Probably not too many nice words for the umpire. You see, turned last second, maybe uttered a word to him.
That's the second strikeout for Forrest Kumis, who has started strong. Now it's Connor Narin, who has only been with the club for a little bit. Left-handed hitter, takes high, 1 ball, no strikes. But already for Narin, 6 hits in 12 at-bats. Plus he's gotten on base on 2 walks and a hit batsman. One of his hits a homer, one of them a double. He's driven in 2, and he works the count. That one's low, 2 balls, no strikes.
The newcomer hitting .500 on the season, 1 home run already, and 2 RBIs. 6 for 12 on the year.
Hitters count. Pitch home from Kumis. And that's downstairs a bit. 3 balls, no strikes.
Kumis having to labor a little bit in the first inning so far. Getting himself behind in the count, 3-0 twice so far.
This is his 14th pitch of the inning, and it's just off the plate away. So Narin draws the walk.
Now batting the USPBL RBI.
And that'll bring up Austin Crutcher.
Austin Crutcher.
We talked about his sensational season, .319 average with 6 doubles, 3 triples, 13 homers, and 43 driven in. Plus a threat on the bases, 17 of 18 if he gets on.
A native of Louisville, Kentucky, went to Bellarmine University.
Now right there in his backyard, that one's low, 1 ball, no strikes to Crutcher.
6'2", weighs 200 pounds. We've already talked a lot of good things about Crutcher, hitting .319 on the year, 13 home runs, tied for second behind Nick Wilson.
Slide step to the plate that time by Kumis, and he misses high. So that is 6 consecutive balls from Kumis. And you think about it, his strikeout pitch before that was a pitch that was up and was not in the strike zone. Hitters count here for one of the best in the league, and Crutcher takes a called strike on a fastball.
That was a good slider down the heart of the plate. Almost a backdoor action going on right there. Just barely hit the corner.
So 2-1 to Crutcher. Next pitch home, bounces in. Good block by Sperlin. Runs the count to 3-1.
Third 3-ball count of the inning for Kumis.
Wilson holds the runner, Narin on at first. Another hitter's count to Crutcher. 3 balls and a strike, and he swings and misses.
Second full count of the afternoon.
Wilson will now play behind Narin at first. Forrest Kumis sets, runner goes, 3-2, swing and a miss. Breaking ball in the dirt. Sperlin blocks it, fires to first, and Kumis strikes out the side, but he does throw a lot of pitches in the bottom half of the first inning. We're through an inning scoreless at Jimmy John's Field.
Welcome to Friday night. Guess what we do on Friday night?
Now batting for the Beavers.
Donnie Murray, getting ready for his second inning of action, will face DJG, Kevin Worth, and Miles Williams in the top half of the second inning.
G having a solid season, 277 hitter, 3 homers and 10 driven in. Has shown some versatility playing the outfield, infield.
And that's what makes him valuable in a league like this. You have to be versatile. You have to be willing to play anywhere coach is going to put you.
And he hits it to the opposite field towards right, but Cruz is over. And he snags it out of the air for out number 1.
The designated hitter, number 24.
Each pitcher had similar results in the first. Only one base runner was the walk by Kumis, but Murray did it much more efficiently. He now has recorded 4 outs on 12 pitches, whereas Kumis got his 3 outs in the first on 20 pitches.
Kumis a little inefficient, going to 3 3-ball counts in that half inning.
Kevin Worth, 230 hitter, 4 homers, 11 RBIs, and he takes a bender that misses a little bit low.
That was a close pitch. Could have gone either way.
Worth's shown some pop this year. But 1 ball, no strike. Pitch is lined in the air to deep center field. Raw over towards right center now, deepest part of the ballpark, as he squeezes it for the second out.
It was a good swing by the righty,
Miles Williams.
but he just got a little too much of the handle out in front of it.
So 2 outs on 3 pitches for Murray in the second. Miles Williams steps up, 272 hitter. He's homered 6 times. He has 11 doubles and 26 driven in. Open stance from the right side. Williams waits and takes a called strike with a fastball. Williams from Windsor, California, former Marlins minor league player. Pops this one foul back behind the plate. And the count now 0-2.
Caught the attention of all the fans in attendance here tonight, as you can hear the uproar as the ball found its way into the seats.
The 0-2. Lined hard, right center field by Williams. Cruz back, looking up, and it's gone. That's an 0-2 pitch that Williams hit on a line to right field and got it out of here for his 7th home run of the year, 27th RBI, and it's 1-0 Beavers.
That was a great piece of hitting on the lower third of the plate, kind of outside, stuck with it, just put his hands down, and that ball was out towards the 340 mark out in right center. And it's a
3rd home run
1-0
Murray's
ballgame.
given up this year. Here's Logan Sperlin, the catcher.
Ray Ortega getting the night off. A well-deserved night off.
It's called strike to Sperlin. Just 15 at-bats on the year for Sperlin. 2 hits, one of them a homer. 3 driven in. Right-handed batter. Awaits the 0-1. Outside corner, 0-2. One 1-0 Beavers on the solo home run by Miles Williams. Here comes an 0-2 to Logan Sperlin. He takes a slider in the dirt, so ball and 2 strikes. Lights are on here at Jimmy John's Field, but sun has not yet set. There's some cloud coverage that minimizes the sun's effectiveness. Sperlin hits a shot to the right side, and it's off the netting on top of the first base side dugout. Good contact by Sperlin, but he was tardy on it. Another 1-2 coming. Hard hit, one hopper, knocked down on the mound by Murray. steps behind the mound, picks it up, fires to first in time for the third out.
And that's it for the Beavers in the second. But
Some hard contact by Sperlin, but it's an out. Miles Williams with a solo home run, the only hit of the top half of the second inning. And the Birmingham Beavers are in front. It's 1-0 into the bottom half of the second.
Condos and apartments and FJC Company.
Back here at Jimmy John's Field, 1-0 lead for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, courtesy of a solo opposite field home run by Miles Williams. That's been the only hit so far, as Chris Cruz leads off the bottom half of the second inning. The Ivy Leaguer hitting .311 with 5 homers and 31 driven in. 7 doubles and a .379 on base percentage. We don't see the dramatic shift we saw with the Diamond Hoppers defensively that they would put on Cruz from time to time. It's called strike to Cruz, outside corner. But as we've seen him hit this year, he is a dead pull hitter.
And that he is, hitting .311 on the season, 5 home runs, 31 RBIs.
Well outside there, 1-1. Cruz, Logsdon, and McVicker, the 3 due up in the second for the Unicorns. High and away, 2 balls and a strike.
Cruz quietly putting himself together a very good season. And he's a guy that really doesn't get that much conversation spoken about him.
Counts 2-1 to Cruz, the kick and the delivery home. Off speed pitch, and he swings and misses. That counts now 2-2.
A very deceptive pitch. Got Cruz way out in front of it.
Now the kick, the 2-2 home. Bounces in. Well, that was well short of the plate. And hit off the shoulder of Sperlin, who was trying to block it.
Not as deceptive there.
You know, you can get a guy to swing and miss at a pitch that maybe starts near the knees and just dives down. But when it never has a chance to cross the plate in the strike zone, that's a tough one to get a hitter to commit to. Sometimes get the hitters, too, on those high fastballs because it just looks so meaty and delicious. 3-2 to Cruz. There's a fly ball to right field. Did he get enough of it? Yes, he did. Chris Cruz ties up the ball game with a home run to right field. That's his 6th home run, 32nd RBI. And whatever you can do, Miles Williams, I can do as well, says Chris Cruz.
Yes, he can. That was the ball he just clobbered towards the right field patio, over towards the lawn seating, and that might have found its way into the woods.
You know, we talked about the fact that teams have been putting a shift on him, but even if you're a pull hitter, you can't shift that type of hit. You can't place a defender over the fence. Here's Logsdon taking outside, 1-0.
Logsdon coming into today's game, hitting .231, 1 home run.
And he swings at a high pitch, fouls it back 1-1.
One of the many newcomers on the revamped Unicorns team.
And he hasn't gotten up to a great start necessarily, but he's been good. I see him as a guy that, if he gets hot, it seems like he's a guy that has good bat speed and strength. So that one's just a bit inside of the breaking ball. 2-1. I mean, you look at him up close, and he just looks like a power hitter with his size.
He's got those broad shoulders, stands really tall in the right-handed batter's box.
Comes up empty, 2-2. And that's the other thing is, if you're watching the video channel, I mean, that's the type of swing he takes just about every time. It's a big boy swing at the plate. Out of West Virginia Wesleyan University, Logsdon waits. And the pitch from Forrest Kumis. Off-speed pitch gets him swinging. All the outs so far for Kumis. Strikeouts, that's number 4.
Like we said before, Kumis is a high strikeout guy. Came into today's game about as many strikeouts as he has innings pitched. But he has shown that he can get guys with the breaking ball so far.
It's now Tyler McVicker with 1 out and the base is empty. Overhand curveball is called strike 1. McVicker, 206 hitter, but he's shown some extra base power, 6 doubles and 3 homers on the year. Fouls that one back behind the plate. It's 0-2.
And it looks like Kumis is starting to find his groove. Looked like a changeup that he threw right there, and it had McVicker out a little early on the swing.
Kicking the 0-2 home, way high with the fastball. So high that when Sperlin reached up to catch it, his mask fell off.
Home plate umpire is probably very thankful that he caught that one, because that probably would have rung his bell pretty good.
Now the 1-2 home. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The Forrest Kumis strikeout parade continues. That's 5 and all of the outs so far. He is on pace, if he throws a complete game, to strike out 27, which would be a new USPBL record.
That might be a new baseball record in general.
Get a wild pitch pass ball strikeout in there, you could strike out even more.
I'd love to see.
Hamner takes outside.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see what his pitch count would be, too.
Yeah, it's already getting up there a little bit.
What's he at so far this inning?
1-0 is off the plate, 2 balls, no strikes. So he's with 20 in the first. $17 now in this inning, so 37 total.
Could very easily be at 40 through 2 innings of work.
Hitters count for the catcher, Hamner. And he comes up empty, 2-1. By the way, the home run by Chris Cruz, first home run allowed this year by Forrest Kumis. 2 balls and a strike. Hamner with no batting gloves takes low. 3-1 the count. Back at it, the 3-1 to Hamner, and that's on a line to the second baseman, Laritz. Kind of a soft line drive there, caught by Laritz at second. A solo home run for Chris Cruz answers Miles Williams' solo home run in the top half. So through 2, Utica and Birmingham Bloomfield knotted up 1-1.
For participating folks, we got a
Welcome back, everybody. 1-1 game here.
Now batting for the Beavers.
Donnie Murray out for his third inning of work. And we have a 1-1 game because there have been 2 home runs hit so far. Both.
I was going to say, fans that bought the lawn tickets out there in right field have been rewarded with a couple of Andy Appleby signed baseballs.
Miles Williams for the Beavers in the second inning. And Chris Cruz also in the second inning, responding in the home half.
Austin Larrett's the batter, takes low, 1 ball, no strikes. Larrett's a .255 hitter, no homers, 2 driven in, swings and misses. Counts 1-1.
Of course, son of former big leaguer Jim Larretts, who actually threw out a first pitch here not too long ago at Jimmy John's Field.
I hate him. I don't know him. It's a pitch and it's low, 2-1. But I'm a Braves fan growing up, and Jim Larretts with one of the most iconic moments in World Series history, his home run that changed the World Series against Mark Wohlers in Atlanta. I think that was Game 3 of '96. That one's a check swing foul ball to the right by Larretts, 2-2. Austin's dad, Jim, took a series that was 2-0, 2 games, nothing Atlanta, and they were up in the third game with the closer on the mound in the 8th inning, I believe it was. And Larretts hit the home run that gave him the lead in that game, and Yankees won that game and then the next 3 to win the '96 series. Logsdon stumbled just a little bit over there in foul territory, but able to squeeze it to retire Austin Larretts for the first out.
Logsdon had to go a long way for that, especially as a first baseman looking up. Don't really know where you are. Probably realized that he was about to be on the warning track, and that's where he slipped up a little bit.
When you have to remember where you are, too, because this is a ballpark that has more foul territory down the lines than most ballparks do. And I think when you play baseball, as long as these guys have, you sometimes forget where you are necessarily and how this ballpark differs from some of the others. DJ Martinez fouls that one back.
Martinez hitting from a .273 clip so far, 17 RBIs, 35 hits, and 17 runs.
Takes a breaking ball for a called strike 2.
And that's Murray getting out into that rhythm, trying to establish a pace for himself and working fairly briskly.
The 0-2 to Martinez bounces in the dirt. Couldn't get Martinez to bite. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
No sense in trying with the breaking ball there. Still a 1-2 count in the pitcher's favor. And with Martinez hitting at a .273 clip with not much power, couldn't really hurt.
Here comes the 1-2, hard hit. Comebacker and through into center field for a base hit. DJ Martinez on with a 1-out single.
Number 17, Dave Pepe.
And Martinez can do some damage on the base paths, 9 steals. He's only been caught 3 times this year. So he is on. Dave Pepe is up. He's 0 for 1 today. Wouldn't be surprised to see Martinez go in motion. Pepe handles the bat well, is a good candidate for a hit-and-run batter, and Martinez a good candidate for a hit-and-run runner. Big gap on the right side of the infield with Page cheating up the middle, Logsdon holding the runner on, and a backdoor breaking ball is called the first strike.
Martinez leading the team with 9 stolen bases, been caught 3 times so far.
Donnie Murray stretches. And the 0-1 fastball, a little bit low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
That was just a hair outside, maybe missing by an inch or 2.
Longtime big league base coach Rich Donnelly coaches at third base for the Beavers. Back in his hometown of Metro Detroit. After a lot of years in the big leagues, that one is low, 2-1. A guy like that really brings a lot of legitimacy to the USPBL. Rich Donnelly, a long-time lieutenant for the Pirates, Marlins, Rangers, and Mariners. And a lot of that time spent as an assistant coach under Jim Leland with the Pirates and Marlins. 2-1, runner on the move, chopper foul, first base side.
Guys like Paul Noce, too, who've spent many, many years within major league organizations like the Mariners, such as what Noce did, seeing time under Lloyd McClendon when he was manager out in Seattle.
Greg Grawl, a lot of big league time. The Red Sox and working for big league organizations in the minor leagues. Counts 2-2 to Pepe. And the pitch home, swing and a miss, strike three. The two pitchers have done it differently in this ballgame. We've talked about the strikeouts mounting up for Kumis 5 through 2 innings. That's the first for Murray through 2 2/3. But it has allowed him to have a lower pitch count to this point.
And I'll take that over the high strikeout, high pitch count any day, because you've had Murray probably primed to go a little bit longer than maybe Kumis will go.
So now 2 outs with a runner at first for Dan Kinnan. And the pitch home from Murray is low.
Kennan, his second plate appearance of the day, went 0 for 1 so far, flew out to center in his last plate appearance.
Here's the pause by Murray. Martinez moves. The pitch is lined to right field. Cruz coming in and makes the grab for out number 3.
That's it for the Beavers.
No runs. There was a hit and a man left on base. We played 2.5 innings from Jimmy John's field. It's still the Beavers won and the Unicorns won.
Jimmy John's Freaky Fast Trivia. Okay, Unicorn fans.
1-1 tie as we play on here at Jimmy John's Field, bottom half of the 3rd inning. A couple of solo home runs. Chris Cruz and Miles Williams have accounted for the scoring. Page in the 9th spot in the order, hitting .313 with a homer and 3 RBIs. This is his 11th game in the USPBL. A hefty .436 on base percentage for Page, who wiggles the bat and takes a breaking ball. Looked good, called ball 1.
And you have to like what you've seen so far from the young man. Maybe showing a lot of promise and a bright future, not only in this league, but in the sport of baseball.
Swings and misses there, 1-1. That Page is from the biggest little city in America, Reno, Nevada, also known as Las Vegas Junior. It's a breaking ball in the inside corner, called strike 2. Page played his college ball at Stambros University. Forrest Kumis nods yes, delivers the 1-2. Check swing, did he go? No. And the count's now 2-2. comes the 2-2 to Page. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 6 of the 7 outs now for Forrest Kumis on the strikeout. And they have all been swinging strikeouts as well. Back we go, top of the order, in former Oakland Golden Grizzly Ian Yetzko. Interesting news out of Oakland from the baseball scene. Here's a called strike to Yetzko. 0-1. This is maybe not news because it's a couple weeks old, but they announced their new coach hiring as Yetzko rips that ball down the left field line. A line drive just off the very top of the wall, and he has to hold at first. That ball was hit so hard by Yetzko, and it hit the top of the wall. Almost got out of here, but it had such velocity on it that Yetzko, unable to work it into a double, he'll settle for a single with 1 out.
Yeah, that ball, a rocket right to the wall, and it was a 1 hop right to Gee out and left, and he was able to fire it into the infield before Yetzko could make the turn to second.
And Yetzko was hustling. I mean, that was just a ball that play just developed so quickly. Ball in the dirt. Yetzko will get into second base. He'll do so on a wild pitch as it scoots past Sperlin, and Yetzko advances to second base.
See, and if I can't get to second base on the hit, I'm just going to get there through a pass ball anyway.
But back to Oakland, the news out of Oakland was that instead of hiring a head coach, they hired co-head coaches. I believe the only baseball team, NCAA D1, that will have co-head coaches for the 2017 season. 1-0 pitch is a called strike. It's been done before on other sports, and actually it's quite popular in some sports for a husband-wife team. I've seen it in some sports with softball and tennis, where a husband and wife will be co-coaches. This one's outside 2-1. But the new coaches, they promoted from within an assistant coach on their staff and then brought in a former Tigers minor leaguer who just happens to be Al Kaline's grandson. 2-1 is high, and it's now 3-1 to Brandon Raw. So a very interesting move by a program that hasn't been great lately in baseball. Just down the road in Rochester, Michigan. But rather than, I guess, doing what everybody else is doing, the Oakland Golden Grizzlies made a bold move and hired co-head coaches.
And maybe it'll work out for them. The Golden Grizzlies finished 4 games under 500, went 23-27 last season. But I believe they had a win against Michigan State, who made a run in the Big Ten tournament and was ranked for a good part of the season.
Swing and a miss by Raw, and the count's 3-2. Those midweek games sometimes can be a crapshoot out of conference because both teams are going deep into their pitching rosters. They're not using necessarily aces.
And yes, that was a game back on March 29th. They went to McLean Baseball Stadium in East Lansing and defeated the Spartans 3-1.
Raw taps this one over the head of Kumis. In comes Laritz, makes the play to first in plenty of time. Yetzko takes third on the play.
And that was a game I got to see firsthand as a reporter for the State News, the student newspaper out in East Lansing. And one of the post-game interviews with head coach Jake Boss, he was not a happy camper because he takes pride in winning those in-state games.
Yeah, the new Oakland coaches, Colin Kaline and Jackie Healy. Kaline coming in from another program, and Jackie Healy promoted from within. Kaline was at Florida Southern, which is an elite Division II program. And Jackie Healy was the former assistant at Oakland. 1-0 to Connor Naran, ripped and foul. Down the first base line, just missed going over the bag.
That had trouble written all over it. With Yetzko at third, that would have scored the run for sure, making it a 2-1 game, but alas, it did not.
Naren, tall and slender in the left-handed batter's box. Yetzko at third. They're 2 away. We're tied 1-1. Bottom of the third. Kumis looks at third. Fires home. It's low. Scoots past Sperlin, but not far enough. It might have gotten after Sperlin blocked it. Couldn't tell if it hit the batter or the umpire, but somebody saved that from going too far away.
Yeah, it kind of dribbled in between Sperlin's legs, and he's lucky it didn't go to the backstop, even though Jimmy John's Field has that notorious short backstop, because that would have scored the run for sure, I would say.
2-1 pitches outside, 3-1. The dangerous Austin Crutcher is on deck. It's not a situation where Kumis is pitching around Connor Naren. The line, the 3-1 delivery, ripped hard and foul. Kind of a similar spot to his first strike. Count's now full.
You hear guys talk about pressure pitches and how those are more stressful on the pitcher in terms of pitch count, and that can't be any help to Kumis now, in addition to his elevated pitch count through his 3 innings of work already, or 2 2/3 rather. But with a runner on third and another full count, it's not looking like he'll be having an extended outing.
3-2 is outside, and it's first and third for the Unicorns. Second time he's walked Naren in this game. And now we'll have to face the dangerous Austin Crutcher, who was a strikeout victim in the first. And that'll prompt a visit from the manager of the Beavers, Chris Newell. Will pay a visit to the mound, and Sperlin will join as well.
Runners at first and third for the dangerous Crutcher. Struck out in his first plate appearance, although it was a dropped third. And being the good hitter that Crutcher is, I don't know if he'll be taking no for an answer, and he'll be looking to put the ball in play any way that he can.
One plate umpire slowly making his way out to try to break up the gathering on the mound.
Crutcher will be looking for at least RBI number 44. Currently leading the USPBL with 43 right now, 11 ahead of Nick Wilson.
Kumis is at 58 pitches here in the third. 20 pitches each in the first 2 innings. It's just a 1-0 ball game, but the Unicorns threatening here with them at the corner and 2 outs. And the dangerous Austin Crutcher taking low.
Chris Newell tends to give his starters a fairly long leash, and if worse comes to worse here, it'll be a 2-0 game, but he'll already have 60 pitches.
Breaking ball hammered deep left field by Crutcher. G back and has room on the warning track up against the wall. Crutcher got it a little bit off the end of the bat and just missed, cranking that one out of here. Crutcher flies out to deep left field to end the bottom half of the third inning. We head to the fourth inning. Unicorns and Beavers knotted up 1-1.
Top of the fourth inning here at Jimmy John's Field, knotted up 1-1. The Beavers tied with the Unicorns. And last half inning, Austin Crutcher hit one about as deep as you can possibly out in left field. G maybe had about 6 inches left of space before he was faced with his back to the wall. But alas, it was the third out of the inning. Donnie Murray out here in the top of the fourth facing Nick Wilson.
And the first pitch to the big man is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Wilson hit it hard but grounded to short his first time up. Shown a lot of patience this year. He's got great power numbers, but also an on-base percentage better than .500. And he works the count as that one's outside to 2-0.
Flip a coin. If it's heads, Nick Wilson's going to get on base. If not, try again.
Here's the 2-0. And that one is chopped, hit him in the batter's box, foul, 2-1. But the head side is actually weighted just a little bit heavier because it's even better than 50% that he gets on base.
It's a weighted coin.
It's a trick one. Counts 2-1 to Nick Wilson. Pitch home from Murray, nowhere near. 3-1.
Wilson, the Decatur, Georgia native, went
Decatur.
0 for 1 so far today. Grounded out to the shortstop on his last at bat.
It's a cultural center right in the heart of the Atlanta area. 3-1 pitch is low and away, ball 4, and Wilson draws the walk. I think it's been in like some Outkast songs or something. I know there's a lot of, there's kind of the East Coast, West Coast. I'm not really East Coast, West Coast, but I know there's a lot of Atlanta rappers, and I've certainly heard Decatur mentioned in some of the rap songs.
B.O.B., one of the famous rappers out of the Georgia area. I believe he's from Atlanta.
I know Outkast is from there, and Decatur's not too far from Emory University. Very nice area there. DJG takes low, 1 ball, no strikes. I'm guessing if Nick Wilson's family is listening, they probably know how great nearby Decatur the DeKalb County Farmers Market is. It's an experience to go to the DeKalb County Farmers Market.
It's always nice to go to a mom and pop shop or even a farmer's market because you just don't get the same kind of customer service that you would from a big chain. I don't really like going to those big chain stores because they just don't feel the same. There's not the same sense of hospitality there.
The 2-0 now to DJG, and he gets a piece of it foul. Well, that's a big word in Atlanta. It's hospitality, the southern hospitality there. Counts 2-1 to DJG. We're in the top half of the fourth inning. You're in Metro Detroit, by the way, not in Atlanta, although that's a topic of conversation. The Atlanta native leaves off of first. The 2-1 is popped up foul, and it's 2-2. G is a Californian, or I'm sorry, a Washington Stater. He's from the Seattle area.
G has 3 home runs so far this season, has 5 doubles and 1 triple to go along with that. Hitting from a .277 clip so far this season.
And he gets a piece of that one on 2-2, stays alive. Sun beginning to set here in downtown Utica, Michigan. A beautiful sky forming as the setting sun reflects off the clouds to the east. The sun out to the west. The 2-2 chopper towards short. Yetzko Fields goes to Page for 1 on to first. Not in time. Ogden stretches to try to get it. But yeah, bang play there, and G able to leg out the second end.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 24, Kevin Worth.
I'd like to see a replay on that from the naked eye, at least up here. May have gotten him by half a step.
Kevin Worth steps in 0 for 1 today. Seems like he has the most personalized walk-up song. Although the word that they are singing about is spelled differently than his last name. Baby, I'm Worth It. As Kevin Worth, W-I-R-T-H, steps in.
One of the few guys to have multiple walk-up songs.
Little blooper into shallow right field and foul.
Ooh.
Just missed touching the chalk down the right field line. And Worth heads back to the batter's box.
It's a game of inches.
0-1 to Kevin Worth.
Worth has been a Beaver since day one on the opening day roster for the Beavers and Chris Newell.
He's been a utility guy. He's played all over. Defensively, he's the DH today. There comes the 0-1, and Worth takes. Just missed. Had the plate but called the ball. It's 1-1. It's tough to tell from our vantage point the height of the pitch. But in our perspective, we get a pretty good look on whether that was outside or inside. That one did have the plate, but must have been either high or low. The 1-1. That one, same spot across. And called a strike, 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes with 1 out to Kevin Worth. G leads off of first. Delivery home, bounces in. Hamner blocks it, 2-2.
Worth stands 6'2" in the right-handed batter's box. A slender 205 pounds from Flagstaff, Arizona, listed as a utility man on the roster, like you were talking about earlier.
I think this year I've seen him at second, third, first, and outfield. I don't know if I'm missing any spots. 2-2 with 1 out. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Got him on strike, second strikeout for Donnie Murray.
Now batting the right fielder, number 18, Miles Williams.
Nice piece of pitching there by Donnie Murray. Was able to get Worth out in front of the breaking ball. And now the lone run scorer for the Beavers, Miles Williams, is going to be up against him in the second at-bat.
Hit his 7th home run of the year back in the second inning. And that one's too far outside, 1-0.
Williams hit that home run last inning. That laser shot to right field. I believe it got into the bushes.
Came on an 0-2 pitch, which I thought was impressive. Big swing there on a 1-0, and it's missed, 1-1. Two outs, runner at first. 1-1 tie, top of the 4th inning. G gets a good-sized lead. He has not attempted a steal yet this year. Williams lays off the high fastball, 2-1.
He wears that Rajay Davis oven mitt on his right hand, probably for protection. It also gives him a couple more inches of leeway when it comes sliding head first.
Yeah, I think that's beyond probably protection because there's no way it's a fashion statement. And throw over, chases him back. Now, I obviously use a similar device, which you kind of alluded to, I mean, when I'm cooking. But can't imagine any other reason for that other than to protect that right hand. 2 balls and a strike to Williams, and it's outside. Did he go? Again, the appeal made, and again, no swing.
That's about as much leeway on a check swing as you're going to see. Looked like the barrel of the bat just missed the heart of the plate from being called a strike, but it's 3-1 now.
Tough call in a 2-man crew, too. Runner goes 3-1, and it's low, ball 4. A walk to Williams. He's been on base twice. 2 walks in the inning for Donnie Murray.
Logan Sperlin.
And Logan Sperlin, the catcher, with a chance to do some damage here in this 1-1 game. Sperlin with a hard comebacker that Murray knocked down in the second inning. And through to first to get the outs. 2 on, 2 out for Sperlin, who is now 2 for 16 at the plate.
There was nothing you could do about that first at bat. He hit a rocket, and Donnie Murray was just able to get his glove out.
It's that ball well to center field. Deep, back goes Raw, has room, and makes the over-the-shoulder catch. Sperlin again hit the ball well, but an out. No runs, no hits. There were 2 men left on base. Through 3.5 innings, tied at 1, Beavers and Unicorns.
Welcome back, everybody. Still a 1-1 game here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Forrest Kumis out for inning number 4 of work. Will face Chris Cruz, Michael Logsdon, and Tyler McVicker in the home half of the 4th here at Jimmy John's Field.
Cruz homering back in the 2nd inning. His 6th home run of the year to deep right field.
And no doubter at that one.
And he takes the first pitch for a called strike, knee-high outside corner. 1-1, bottom half of the 4th inning here at Jimmy John's Field. Doubleheader scheduled for tomorrow. Swing and a miss and an off-speed pitch low and in.
It's going to be a long day.
Couple of games, 2 o'clock and then 7:25. And tomorrow night, another fireworks show, unscheduled. Postgame fireworks, normally they're on Fridays, but a bonus on Saturday. 0-2 is low, and the count's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Both games will be 7 innings only for a total of 14 on Saturday.
Now the 1-2. Cruz pops it up. Left side, foul ground. Kinnan has room. Wide of the coach's box. Makes the catch for the first out.
Now batting first baseman number 7, Michael Logsdon.
Yeah, they draw those coaches' boxes. And they're a nice reference point on the field. But I don't know if there is a coach in baseball in any league that stands inside the box. And they're not even boxes. It's 3/4 of a box. It's not closed. Popped up right field. Williams under it near the line and making the catch. Logsdon retired. 2 quick outs here for Kumis, who could really use a quick inning. He threw 20 pitches in each of the first 3 innings, but has retired 2 on 5 pitches.
Has labored so far. His pitch count right now at 66. And a short inning could be just what the doctor ordered, but he might have to whip up another one too.
Tyler McVicker, 2 outs, base is empty. He struck out back in the second. Kumis has fanned 6, and the first pitch a called strike to McVicker.
McVicker, one of the many strikeout victims by Kumis tonight.
0-1, check the swing. Did he go? Yes. It's 0-2.
So far tonight, Kumis has racked up an impressive 6 strikeouts so far in 3 2/3 innings of work.
Fastball. Several Beavers players were jogging towards the dugout, but it was called ball 1. Just missed the outside edge. Now the 1-2 from Kumis. Breaking ball, fly ball, right field. Sends Williams back, but not deep enough. Shy of the warning track. Squeezes it for out number 3. Much more efficient inning for Forrest Kumis, who sets him down 1-2-3 on 9 pitches. And we go to the 5th inning. Still tied 1-1 between the Beavers and the Unicorns.
Top of the 5th inning here at Jimmy John's Field. Austin Laritz to lead things off for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. And he will face Donnie Murray, who is out to look for his 5th inning of complete work.
First pitch on its way to Austin Laritz. Gets a piece of it, dribbles it foul back behind the plate. Tomorrow, that 2 o'clock game is Eastside and Birmingham Bloomfield, and it's a beach party at Jimmy John's Field. So wear your leis and swim trunks. 0-1 to Laritz, his tap foul. Plus receive a free Donnie Murray no-hitter commemorative cup. And with that cup, commemorating Donnie Murray's no-hitter, you can fill it up with $2 Coronas or $1 Pepsis. The 0-2 to Laritz is low and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You're going to need those cups tomorrow. A high of 79 tomorrow, 84 tomorrow. Mostly sunny with a chance of thunder showers.
It's fouled back by Laritz. Count stays 1-2.
And that would be a damper on the USPBL's parade if it were to rain tomorrow, being that the doubleheader is to make up for a game that was already rained out.
Now the 1-2 home to Laritz. Breaking ball grounded left side. Knocked down by Narin. Sidearm sling throw onto first. It's in time to retire Laritz.
That was a good piece of fielding by Narin. Almost knocked him over trying to field it. Gets up quickly to throw over to first to quickly get the out. Got Laritz by 2 steps maybe. And he made that play look a lot easier than it actually is.
Now Martinez, who singled back up the box. Takes off the plate. Second game, also a 7-inning game tomorrow, 7:25. Captain America, Batman, and Superman will all be at the game. You know there's nothing bad that's going to happen at the game if all those people are all in one concentrated area. That one is outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
You just don't want to be in a place like Gotham tomorrow with no Batman.
It's true. 2-0 to Martinez, chopped down the third baseline, fair. Backhanded by Narin, long throw, won't get him. Martinez runs too well. That was a tough play for Narin, who by the time he collected himself was on the outfield grass and the corner down the line. So Martinez reaches on the infield single, his second hit of the game. And Dave Pepe stands in.
I don't know how the ruling on that play is going to go, but I hope it's a hit.
Right.
Narin already laboring, and that ball was deep in the hole towards the foul line, and it would have taken a Jeter-esque play to make the play at first.
Yeah, there's no way. That's a hit. It's scored as such. There have been a couple rulings that have made me scratch my head this year, but if that one was scored an error on Narin, I think I would have just stepped out of the booth and gone to give the scorer a piece of my mind, because that was certainly a difficult play for Narin. 0-1 now the count to Pepe.
Only the third hit of the afternoon for the Beavers. The Unicorns only with 2 hits as well, and I think it's easy to say that this has been a pitching duel.
Tapper back to the mound. Nice play by Murray, stretching to make the play. Throws to second for 1, gets him there onto first. Not in time.
And that's another nice piece of fielding for Donnie Murray. A lot of times, pitchers will get the ground ball like that and try and turn the double play, and something mentally in their mind just doesn't click, and they could throw it away or bounce it. But he was able to record the out at second, and he fired it down hoping to get the double play, but wasn't able to turn it as Pepe was able to run it down.
Dan Kennan takes ball 1, snap throw by Hamner to first, and chases Pepe back safely to the bag.
Tried to catch Pepe sleeping over there. Took a big lead out there past the cutout on the first base side.
Pepe not really a base stealing threat despite being a leadoff man. 1 steal, he's been caught 3 times.
It's not a very good success rate.
Counts 1-0, and Kennan pops that one up. Hamner Back of the plate, Logston's over as well. Hamner takes charge and makes the catch in foul ground for out number 3. No runs, a hit, 1 man left on base. Halfway through the ball game here at Jimmy John's Field. Unicorns and Beavers, 1 each.
Kyle Hamner.
It'll be Kyle Hamner leading off the bottom half of the 5th inning here in a 1-1 tie. Utica Unicorns looking to improve to 17-22. Birmingham Bloomfield comes in at 21-16, although they have lost their last 4 contests. Kumis delivers, and Hamner hammers it, but right at DJ G in left field, and there's one away.
That was a good swing, just
Second baseman, number 1. Matt
wrong
Page.
place at the wrong time. Hit it right to G out in left field.
A lot of kids going back to school these days. You still have classes at East Lansing?
Yes, I'm actually done. My last day here is Sunday.
All right.
And I'm getting ready to move back next Friday.
So taking classes at Michigan State. It's outside, 1 ball and no strikes.
Journalism major.
A lot of kids getting ready to start back in high school or middle school, elementary school, preschool in this area. That one is low, 2 balls, no strikes. What better way to start back school than coming out here on Sunday, 2 o'clock game time. First 1,000 fans get a free Diamond Hoppers backpack. Put all your school supplies in there.
Show all your friends your cool swag.
Fly ball deep center field. Pepe still going back, reaches up on the warning track and makes a catch on a ball hit by Page that had some giddy up on it, just kind of kept on carrying out to center field, but not far enough.
That was a borderline leaping catch by Pepe out in center. And if he didn't catch that, that was going to go over his head. But the extended wall out in dead center probably would have kept it in. And that could have been trouble. But it was not. It was a long out.
Top of the order, Ian Yetzko taking a called strike. But I would think one of those, I assume the Diamond Hoppers backpack is green. I mean, that would go great on campus. There's a lot of green on campus in Michigan State. That one's fouled back, nothing in 2 to count to Yetzko.
Almost all green.
Yeah. I know there's no maize and there's no blue. And
Not at all.
None of that Buckeye red. So yeah, it's a green and white campus.
Speaking of maize and blue, we got a special visitor during the commercial break.
Up and away to Yetzko, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Kevin Klein, famous for his broadcasts here at the USPBL, came to visit us as a fan.
That one is low, 2-2.
He belongs to his alma mater, the University of Michigan.
I don't know if Jim Harbaugh and all the people over in Ann Arbor would be too pleased. He wasn't wearing the maize and blue. He was wearing the purple of the Utica Unicorns. Chris Newell may not be all that happy about that either. Here's a ground ball to shortstop. DJG circles the ball, throws to first. Correction, DJ Martinez. The other DJ makes the play on to first in time for out number 3. And Forrest Kumis cruises through a 1-2-3 bottom half of the 5th inning. 5 innings in the books here at Jimmy John's Field. We're still tied 1-1.
Welcome back, everybody. Top of the 6th inning here at Jimmy John's Field. Nick Wilson to lead things off for the Beavers. He is 0 for 2 today.
And in his 2 plate appearances, Donnie Murray has yet to have to face him with anyone on base. One tie, top half of the 6th inning. Both runs scored in the 2nd. Both runs scored on solo home runs. Breaking ball to Nick Wilson, cut out and missed. That was a little bit up around the shoulders, 0-1.
That was a big swing by Nick Wilson. Looking to break the 1-1 tie.
He has not gotten cheated on too many pitches this year. Bloops that one into shallow right center field. Raw and Cruz in, and it bloops in for a single for Nick Wilson. You know, Nick Wilson hasn't put together a lot of singles this year. It's been a lot of homers, walks, but that one maybe his weakest contact of the year, but still able to bloop it into right center for a base hit.
Found its way into the Bermuda Triangle. The second baseman, Page, wasn't able to get to it, and as Raw and Cruz conversed, it just dropped in.
So now it's DJG taking outside. Wilson is not a speedster on the bases. He has 1 attempt this year and unsuccessful. Rip, deep left field by G. Crutcher back to the wall, and he makes that catch up against the wall. And now Wilson is doubled off at first base, couldn't get back in time. Wilson thought that was extra bases. And Utica with a nice relay play to complete the double play on a deep drive to left field.
And as much as I like to credit Nick Wilson, that was a poor piece of base running there. He was past second base when that ball was caught. But to his credit, he probably thought it was going out.
2 outs, base is empty for Kevin Worth. Worth is 0 for 2. And And it's upstairs, 1 ball, no strikes.
Ruling on that play is going to go 7-6-3 double play.
So Zyetsko got a glove on the relay and made the assisting throw. The 1-0 to Worth. Ripped to third and caught by Naren for out number 3. Base running blunder by the Beavers. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left on base. 5.5 in the books. 1-1 tie between the Unicorns and the Beavers.
Now batting for the Unicorns, the center fielder, number 11, Brandon Raw.
Bottom of the 6th inning here at Jimmy John's Field. A quick top half of the 6th leads Horace Kumis back onto the mound to face Brandon Raw, Naren, and Crutcher. Kumis has, though, retired 7 in a row. A very much needed 7 in a row to drive his pitch count back in the line.
And Brandon Raw leads things off by taking a breaking ball in, 1-0. Kumis has retired 7 straight since the walk to Naren in the 3rd. That one's inside to Raw, 2-0. One tie, bottom half of the 6th inning. And the pitch, ground ball to short. DJ Martinez fields and throws. Retires Raw for the first out of the bottom of the 6th.
Number 22, Connor Darren.
Fans will be treated to post-game fireworks here tonight, lighting up the Utica sky. Connor Naren, quick question, you're a little bit more on the inside on this than I am. The players can pick their own walk-up music?
Yes, they can. Very interesting choice by the newcomer Naren.
Yeah, it's inside, 1 ball, no strikes. The Canadian sensation Justin Bieber serenaded Naren with Baby, Baby, Baby as he stepped to the plate. It's a bold move.
It is.
Choosing the Beavs.
Especially as a
high 2-0.
Especially as a guy who doesn't really know anybody in the league and comes in with Justin Bieber as his walk-up song.
I mean, that's confidence. I mean, you walk off the bus, you step into the league, and you say, I want Bieber. It's a low 3-0 to Connor Naren. The only strike Kumis has thrown here in the 6th inning was the ball Raw put into play for a 6-3 groundout. 3-0 to Naren. Well, nowhere near, and spins him off the plate 4 straight. Missed the zone for the walk.
Now
third walk of the day for Naren. I'm sure he'll take that all day long.
Now it's Austin Crutcher who's 0 for 2. Runner at first with 1 out. Beavers with 4 hits, Utica with just 2. As the Yetsko single in the third, and the Cruz solo home run in the second.
Crutcher struck out his first time up and hit a deep, and I mean deep, fly ball to left field his last time up.
Comes up empty on a breaking ball that bounced in. I think he was thinking fastball, instead got the first pitch breaking ball. And that's a smart pitching call there by Kumis, and Sperlin, his catcher, after throwing 4 straight out of the zone, Crutcher was sitting dead red on a fastball, and they went with a curveball and worked ahead of Crutcher, 0-1. Next pitch, ground ball, tap to third. Kennan near the line, throws off balance to second, and they get the force out there. Kennan had to make an off-balance throw, but got the leading runner, Naren.
And that's a good play by Kennan. Bang, bang play. Able to get the lead runner. And that's all you can ask out of in that situation. It's always nice to turn the double play, but it's a very difficult double play to make with that ball headed down the line like that.
Time called. Sperlin, the catcher, out to the mound. And you wonder if they're maybe killing time. Oh, he's going to jog right back to the behind the plate area.
Action in the Beavers bullpen. Kumis's pitch count in the 90s.
Runner on the move, pitches low, throw it on to second, and safe. He got around the tag of Martinez, who's in the face of the umpire. He thought he tagged Austin Crutcher out, but instead he got around the tag. The throw did beat him to the bag, but it appears that the tag did not. And DJG still arguing with the umpire. And now started walking towards center field to defuse the situation. That is the 18th steal in 19 attempts for Crutcher, although Martinez vehemently disagreed. Low it into Cruz, 2 balls, no strikes.
Like you said, the throw beat him, and Martinez, applied the tag, but the tag was on the foot as the throw was starting to get away from Martinez. Unable to apply it right on the bag.
Low scoots back towards the mound after Sperlin blocked it, and Crutcher takes third on a wild pitch. And the count is 3-0 to Cruz. So a 1-out walk to Naren. He was forced out at second base. Crutcher was on at first with 2 outs, but stole second, wild pitched to third. It's a 3-0 count to Cruz, and now Chris Newell is going to come out to the mound. You don't often see mid-at-bat pitching visits, especially with a 3-0 count. But Chris Newell has something to say here. And they're also, as they talk, they're looking down at the mound a little bit. I don't know if maybe Newell from the dugout saw something in the follow-through by Kumis. But it looks like everything's okay, and he's going to head back to the dugout.
It's a long stroll. And Chris Newell, who usually has a lot of pep in his step, took his time to go out to see Kumis, maybe buying some time for his relievers.
.30. Called a strike at the knees. Tied at 1, bottom half of the 6th inning. Another set by Kumis, 3-1 offering. Taking a strike at the knees. 3-2. Whatever Chris Newell said appears to have paid off. He has As Kumis come back with back-to-back strikes. Now the full count pitch to Cruz. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Kumis battles back from 3-0. Down to the count to Cruz with a runner at third and strikes him out. And Cruz down on strikes. Kumis with his 7th strikeout of the ball game. We go to the top half of the 7th inning. Still tied 1-1.
Top of the 7th inning here at Jimmy John's Field, and we have a pitching change. Andrew Potter will take the mound for the Unicorns. His 8th appearance of the season. Comes into the game with 7 2/3 innings pitched under his belt. Has allowed 5 hits and 2 walks with 7 strikeouts, and has a 0.00 ERA and a measly 172 batting average against. Has a whip of only .91 and 1 win this season.
First pitch to Miles Williams, fouled back behind the plates. 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Beavers in a 1-1 tie at top of the 7th inning.
Final line for Donnie Murray, 6 innings of work, 4 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts.
Good slider cut on and missed, and it's 0-2. Yeah, the 1 home run was the only blemish on the line for that 1 run, and Murray will not factor into the decision of this one.
And that's a shame because it was a very nice pitching performance.
Overhand curveball and a swing and a miss. 3 pitches, and Williams strikes out.
Now batting the catcher, number 40, Logan Sperlin.
1 down, catcher Logan Sperlin steps in, 0 for 2 today.
Good contact, though, so far in today's game. Hit a line drive that went off the glove of the pitcher, Donnie Murray, back in the 2nd inning. And then hit a deep fly ball to center field, but Brandon Raw was able to track it down.
Chopper back up the middle. Yetzko to his left. Gloves, throws off balance. A stretch by Logsdon, and he scoops it out. Nice play on both ends, as Yetzko covered some ground to the glove hand side. 2 away.
It's just not his day. That was another well-hit ball up the middle. Looked like it was going to dribble through, but it slowed down enough for Yetzko to make a play on it. A very athletic play and a very athletic stretch by Logsdon down at first base.
Yeah, if Sperlin was playing in this game against another defense, he very easily could have had 3 hits. But nice plays by the pitcher, center fielder, and shortstop in his 3 at-bats. Austin Lariats takes a look at strike one. Open stands for the second baseman who cuts and misses, and it's 0-2. Potter so far making quick work of Beavers hitters.
Lariats also 0 for 2 on the day, fouled out his first time up. And his second time up, grounded out to the third baseman.
Now a ball and 2 strikes. Hits have been hard to come by in this ball game. 1-2 outside corner. Lariats knew it. He was already heading back towards the dugout, and Andrew Potter with a quick and efficient 1-2-3, top half of the 7th inning. It is time to stretch at Jimmy John's Field. 1-1 tie between the Beavers and the Unicorns.
Welcome back.
First baseman, number 7, Michael Logsdon.
This is a good Tim McGraw there. I like the old Tim McGraw. That's the good Tim McGraw right there.
I like all kinds of Tim McGraw.
And his new stuff is just not as good.
You gotta like Meanwhile Back at Mama's, though. Such a calming song. It's a nice melody to it.
I throw it out my shoulder, but I want her that teddy bear. One's inside, 1 ball, no strikes to Mike Logsdon. We were entertained a little Tim McGraw right after Take Me Out to the ball game. 1-0 pitch hits Logsdon. Got him on the elbow, and he is awarded first base.
You got to be thankful that he's wearing a brace on his elbow, because it's never fun to get hit there.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 10, Tyler McVicker.
And here comes Chris Newell. I think the argument here, and I think that argument was started by Kumis on the mound and continued here by the manager, is that there was no effort to get out of the way by Logsdon. But the argument is quickly put to rest by the plate umpire. Leadoff man on here in the 7th in a 1-1 ball game. And let's see if Tyler McVicker is called upon to bunt, or if he is allowed to swing the stick.
Kumis over the 100 pitch count now at 102 as it stands.
It's low, 1 ball, no strikes to Tyler McVicker.
55 strikes so far in 48 balls, as he has outlasted his opposing starter, Donnie Murray.
Bunt shown, pulls back, and it's strike 1, 1-1.
He hasn't outlasted him yet, but if he records an out, then officially he will.
Bunted back towards the mound. Kumis looks at second, flings it over to first. Sacrifice bunt. Successfully laid down by McVicker. Logsdon takes second.
And when you get into those later innings of the game, small ball starts to become an instrumental factor, especially in a low-scoring tie game such as this one.
So I did a quick recap. I've got him at 98 pitches at this point. Here comes Hamner, and he takes a strike. Nothing in one. I'd maybe one or two off typically. I'm normally not that many off, and I mean, who knows exactly what the count is, but I've got him right now with this pitch at 100.
Following along on Point Streak online.
Ball low there to Hamner, and it's 1-1.
Has Kumis at 58 strikes and 49 balls now.
Well, and the Beavers keep the pitch count themselves, too, in the dugout, so they're not going to let him go to a point where he is overextended. There is no magic number as to what that is, but Chris Newell is keeping a close eye on it. The 1-1 chopped down the third base line and too far wide of the bag. It's 1-2 to Hamner. We're in the bottom half of the seventh inning, knotted up 1-1.
Can't imagine Kumis is going to be out there too much longer, especially with a runner on second now. If he allows Hamner to get on, it could be the end of the day.
The 1-2 is outside, 2-2. Two. Fly foul back behind the plate. Count stays 2-2 to Hamner.
One of the many sound effects here at Jimmy John's Field. Foul ball found its way towards the parking lot. It sounded like there was some broken glass, at least through the PA system.
2-2 right down the middle. Hamner knew it. He was caught off guard on the 8th strikeout of the night for Kumis. 2 outs, runner at second for the 9-hole hitter Page.
That was a fastball right down the middle, and Hamner wasn't going to have any part of it. Here comes Chris Newell.
And that is going to do it for Forrest Kumis. Regardless of the count, it is over 100. And Chris Newell has made the call to the bullpen. So Forrest Kumis' evening is done after 6 2/3 innings. Finishes the night with 8 strikeouts. But it's going to be up to somebody in the bullpen to keep the runner that's his responsibility at second from scoring. 1-1 tie, bottom half of the 7th inning. New pitcher is on. We'll tell you about it after this.
Houghton Buchanan to take the mound for the Beavers. One of the dominant relief pitchers in the USPBL, making his 19th appearance on the season. 21 1/3 innings pitched so far. Has allowed 9 earned runs with 22 walks and 34 strikeouts. Good for a 3.79 earned run average. And only a 158 opposing batting average. On the other side of that coin, he has a 1.59 whip, which typically, if you ask a stats guy, that's not all that impressive. Final line on Kumis. He went 6 2/3, allowed 2 hits on 1 run, and only 1 run allowed on 3 walks and 8 strikeouts.
And not yet a complete line because he's still responsible for the man at second base. That's Logsdon who leads, and Buchanan's delivery cut on and missed by Page. High fastball, 0-1. From one SEC man, Kumis, to another, Buchanan, who sends his alumni dues to Oxford, Mississippi, University of Mississippi. Buchanan's 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. 104 pitches by my count. You had 111 on the computer count, so somewhere, I think between those two numbers is the actual number. So that's a pretty deep ball game for Kumis. The 0-2 from Buchanan. Another heater, threw it past Page. Houghton Buchanan went heat. 3 pitches and a strikeout of Page to strand the runner at second base. Through 7, still 1-1 here at Jimmy John's Field.
And it's back to the bullpen. Wall decides to go. Mitch Aker on the mound now. Let's see here. Aker making his 11th appearance so far. 11 innings of work so far in the books. 17 strikeouts, only 2 walks. And look at that, he's only given up 6 earned. But that's a 4.9 ERA.
I don't know how well he's seeing because he asked Hammer to come out. I don't think he's kind of squinting as he looked in on the signs. He may have to visit a local Utica optometrist at some point. But he'll face 9-1-2 here, beginning with DJ Martinez, and delivers a low fastball that clocked in at 95 miles an hour. It looked like it had some zip on it, and after it registers on the radar gun, it did.
So Potter's day is done. He only went 1 inning, a perfect inning, where he struck out 2.
So now 2 balls, no strikes to Martinez. And Potter did all that on just 8 pitches. He certainly looks sharp in the 7th. And Aker looking to continue that momentum here. Chopper up the middle. Took a low hop on Yetzko, and it scoots under him for a ball into center field. And Martinez hustles his way all the way to second base on a ball that Yetzko thought would be about chest high as far as anticipating the hop, and it just stayed down on the ground after it hit the lip of the grass. And it trickles into shallow center field, and Martinez, hustling all the way, makes it into second base on an error by Yetzko.
And that's a great piece of aggressive base running by DJ Martinez, realizing that it's a tied game and he's got to get himself into scoring position.
Pepe trying to move him even further along to third. Takes low, showing bunt. Pepe's 0 for 3. Quarter infielders creeping in, middle infield back. 1 ball, no strikes. Pepe has shown bunt once. Shows it again, and it's inside. The only strike thrown in this inning by Aker was the ball put into play by Martinez. He fell behind DJ, as he does with Pepe, 2-0. Bunt shown, off the plate away. 3 balls, no strikes.
Aker's got to throw a strike here. Pepe might be offering at the 3-0 here.
Not, and it's a strike, 3-1. Kinnan on deck. Then Wilson due up for the Beavers. Golden scoring opportunity. Top half of the 8th inning, 1-1 tie. Pepe gets it down third base side. Off the mound, Aker. Fields, plants, throws sidearm. Nice play. To Logsdon covering. 1-3 sacrifice. Gets the job done. Martinez to third.
And that small ball at its finest. Almost a perfect sacrifice bunt by Dave Pepe. Able to move Martinez over to third, and he almost beat that out.
So now runner at third. The infield comes all the way in, and Dan Kinnan looks at strike 1.
Less than 2 outs and a runner on third. Top of the order up for the Beavers. It's a prime scoring opportunity for them.
Kinnan, did he offer at a pitch in the dirt? It appears no. And confirmed no. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Kinnan 0 for 3 today has put the ball into play all 3 times. Flew out to center in his first at-bat. Flew out to right in his second at-bat. And then fouled out.
Fastball just missed away. 2-1 to Kinnan.
Fouled out to the catcher. That was a pop-up.
Outfield normal depth all the way across. Infield in on the lip of the grass. Martinez, the runner at third. The 2-1 offering to Kinnan, way outside. Overthrew the fastball, 3-1. Aker, the third pitcher used by the Unicorns. Right-hander. Played his college baseball at William and Mary. The 3-1 offering. High strike called. Kinnan was beginning towards first, and it's full.
I think that was a good pitch. It's a little bit above the belt, but that's a traditional strike right there.
Yeah, rule book strike, I think. And you're starting to see that pitch called more and more in the big leagues where umpires are under the more strict scrutiny. The 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball chopped towards short. Runner waits. Yetzko. Fields throws across. 2 away. Martinez was not going on contact. Yetzko able to handle it for the second out. And here comes Nick Wilson. You'd have to believe that Martinez, with the infield in not going, might have really been partly because not really because of Kinnan, but because of Wilson on deck. The fact that you don't want to make a out at the plate with this guy coming up, but Utica's going to pitch around him. So they're not going to take their chances with Nick Wilson, although on a pitch that was supposed to be intentionally wide, was thrown down the middle but high.
That almost reminds me, I believe it was when Miguel Cabrera was with the Marlins. They were intentionally walking him, and he stuck the bat out and actually got a base hit.
It's the closing scene of the Bad News Bears, at least the original version. I can't remember how the newer version ended, but Kelly Leak was being intentionally walked, and he swung at it. That was ball 4, intentionally wide. So Nick Wilson draws the walk.
Good move by Grawl.
Now batting the left fielder, number 19, DJG.
But maybe DJG can make him pay. He's 0 for 3 today, but his last one sent Crutcher to the warning track. Martinez began with a ground ball to short that went under Yetzko on a bad hop, and Martinez hustled to second on the two-base error. Pepe sacrificed him to third. Kennan grounded to short, no advancement. And then with the runner at third and 2 outs, Nick Wilson was intentionally walked to bring up DJG. 1-1 tie, top half of the 8th inning. And it's outside to G. A run, 4 hits for the Beavers, no errors. A run, 2 hits, 1 error for the Unicorns. G with the open stance. The 1-0 from Aker is a strike on the outside corner.
That was a close pitch. Just got the outside part of the plate.
One is upstairs. 2 balls and a strike.
A 2-1 count. A lot of people will say that's the best hitter's count in all of baseball.
The 2-1 to G. Outside edge, called strike 2. 2-2, 2 away. Martinez at third, Wilson at first. Mitch Aker sets, delivers, high, 3-2. Logsdon steps behind Wilson at first. Wilson will get a couple extra steps off the bag. 3-2, 2 away.
With 2 outs, Wilson might be in motion.
There he goes. Fouled it back. G stays alive, got a piece of it.
It's a good swing to stay alive. Not a good swing if you're trying to put it in play. But with the game as close as it is, he lives to see another day.
Three and two away. Outfield plays G straight away. Wilson walks off of first. He goes, the 3-2, inside, ball 4. Second walk of the inning, the first unintentional walk. Bases are loaded in an inning in which the Beavers don't have a hit, but they're loaded for Kevin Worth, who's 0 for 3. Aker will now choose to work from the wind. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And it's high and away to Worth. Aker has consistently fallen behind hitters in this inning.
Chris Newell choosing not to pinch hit for Worth. He's got options on the bench. He had Eric Phillips, Ray Ortega, and Fernelli Sanchez.
Worth has 4 home runs on the year. A couple of doubles as well. He's 0 for 3. Facing the hard-throwing reliever Aker, who misses way off the plate in. Looked like an off-speed pitch that got away from him. Now the pressure even more so on the mound with Aker, falling behind 2-0 to Worth. He has walked 2. The Wilson walk was intentional. And now the 2-0 to Worth. Swing, line drive, right field. Cruz came in and has it for out number 3. The Beavers threaten big time but do not score. No runs, 3 hits. There was an error, a couple of walks, and 3 Beavers left on base. We hit the bottom half of inning number 8. 1-1 score.
Take out the Beavers. There's $2 Coronas.
Houghton Buchanan out for inning number 2 of work on the mound for the Beavers. We'll have to get through the top of the Unicorn lineup. Yetsko to lead things off, followed by Raw and Naren.
Huge scoring opportunity for the Beavers in the top half goes squandered. And now the big, hard-throwing right-hander from Mississippi fires away to Ian Yetsko. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Yetsko 1 for 3 tonight. Struck out in the first inning, singled in the third, and grounded out to Martinez, the shortstop, back in the 5th.
Low, 2 balls, no strikes. Houghton Buchanan literally has about a foot on Yetsko. Maybe even a little bit more.
Buchanan very tall. I believe he's 6'8".
And Yetsko 5'8". Swing and a miss at one that was about 5 feet 8 inches off the ground. And it's 2-1 to Yetsko. They stood next to each other. It kind of looked like that photo from like early 90s basketball when Muggsy Bogues was next to Manute Bol. Although that was about a 2-foot height difference. It was right down the middle to Yetsko, 2-2.
Yeah, Buchanan taller than Nick Wilson, who just towers over everybody. Wilson listed at 6'6".
Bottom of the 8th, 1-1 tie. Yetsko leading things off. Pitch from Buchanan. Down the middle but low, it's full. There have been very few called strike threes in this game. I believe just 1. 3-2. There's another. Outside corner at the belt, and Yetsko looking at that one. A couple strikeouts over a couple of batters for Buchanan since coming on. 1 out.
When you're tied 1-1 through 8 innings, you can't look at any pitch for strike 3. It's a tough pitch to take, but got to try and put it in place somehow.
Brandon Raw fouls that one back. Behind the plate, it's 0-1.
Hit the top part of the screen that protects the grandstand. Filled with fans tonight at Jimmy John's Field, waiting for their fireworks.
0-1 to Raw. That one is low, shoots past the catcher Sperlin, 1-1.
I have it here, there were 3 looking strikeouts in the game so far. Leyritz did it back in the 7th. And then Hamner did it also in the 7th. It was Kumis's last batter that he faced. And then Yetsko just a batter ago.
That is correct. Next pitch to Raw is on the outside corner, evening the count at 2-2.
That pitch was right on the black.
Raw out of Matthews, North Carolina, waits on the 2-2. It's outside, full count. Payoff pitch home to Raw. Line hard, right side foul towards Auburn Road. That came awfully close to a passing car.
Been a couple accounts of that this season already, of a foul ball striking a moving vehicle. But it's a good thing our friends AAA sponsor just about everything here at the ballpark.
It's good company. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Brandon Raw strikes out.
Now batting the third baseman.
Third strikeout of the day for Houghton Buchanan, making it seem almost effortless as he keeps himself calm and composed.
Two out spaces empty for Connor Narin. Left-handed hitting third baseman has not needed a bat so far. Takes that one, a called strike outside corner at the knees. He has walked 3 times for the only 3 walks in the game for the Unicorns.
Walks as good as a hit.
Sometimes, most of the time. Swinging a foul tip into the mitt, 0-2. I'll take a single with a runner at second.
It's a fair point. It's a true point. It's a better point.
0-2 to Narin. Swing and a miss, strike 3. How about Houghton Buchanan? Strikes out the side in the 8th. He has struck out 4 consecutive, and as a staff, the Beavers have struck out 5 consecutive. To the 9th we go. Still tied 1-1.
And it's time for the YMCA. Join the 359.
Top of the ninth inning. Maybe the last chance for the Beavers. Williams, Sperlin, and Austin Laritz to hit for Birmingham.
Face Mitch Aker, who was shaky in the eighth, but managed to keep the Beavers off the scoreboard. He threw 26 pitches. Didn't give up a hit, but walked a couple. But was able to pitch out of the jam.
Got to wriggle himself out of the jam there.
Ballpark filled with some amateur village persons.
It was the YMCA being both sung and danced to out in the stands.
Up and into Williams, doesn't offer at it. It's 1 ball, no strikes. I guess the YMCA maybe has changed since that song was first written, because they talk about like staying at the YMCA, and most of the time at the YMCA you're eventually forced to leave. Here's a little chopper weakly back towards the mound, third base side. Aker off the mound, throws to first, gets Williams. But the YMCA does more than it, but it seems like the YMCA is predominantly a fitness club, family fitness club with basketball courts and swimming pools, and doesn't seem like it's the place where you can go and stay and have a good meal and do whatever you feel. You can't just, you can shower there, but that's kind of post-workout. You can't just spend the night. They eventually turn off the lights and lock the doors.
I'm sure if you brought a sleeping bag or a change of clothes, you could probably bring a change of clothes, but you probably wouldn't be greeted with a warm welcome if you brought a sleeping bag to prepare for your overnight stay at the YMCA.
Called strike to Sperlin, now a swinging strike on a good breaking ball. And Mitch Aker is looked like a man on a mission here in the ninth.
Sperlin been robbed 3 times so far, like we've said.
And he swings and misses at the 0-2.
Not robbed there.
First strikeout for Mitch Aker.
Now batting the second baseman, number 1.
I'm sure the modern YMCA has some maybe like sleepover events for kids where maybe you take some tents and camp out on like a soccer field or maybe even indoors. But only on a rare occasion. It's not just a everyday kind of thing. Swing and a miss by Laritz. And it's 0-1. Laritz is 0 for 3. But the song is fun. It still has relevancy. People still like it.
Still a fan favorite here at Jimmy John's Field, along with Sweet Caroline. But I haven't heard Sweet Caroline here in a while.
Laritz offered at that one that was in the dirt. It's 0-2. Well, one day it was Neil Diamond sang here. Or
a Neil Diamond look-alike, yeah.
The 0-2, fastball overthrown, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mitch Aker into the motion, his 1-2 to Laritz. Breaking ball in, 2-2.
Looked like either a changeup or a slider that missed the inside part of the plate. It's a good take there by Laritz. It takes a lot of patience to lay off that pitch.
But he takes that one for a called strike 3. Fastball on the outer black. Perfect 1-2-3. Top half of the 9th inning for Mitch Aker. Bottom half of the 9th inning. 1-1 tie. Crutcher, Cruz, and Logsdon due up in the bottom half of the 9th inning.
Welcome back, everybody. Bottom of the ninth. It is the final countdown for the Unicorns, unless this game were to go into extra innings. Buchanan's night is over, and here to take his place is Neil Kunick. In 10 games so far this season, this will be his 11th appearance. Has pitched 12 and a third innings, allowed 19 hits, and 8 earned, with 5 walks and 7 strikeouts to accompany that. And he will have to face the heart of the Unicorn lineup. Crutcher leading things off, followed by Cruz and Logsdon.
Crutcher is 0 for 3, 1-1. Bottom half of the ninth inning. Kunick's first pitch, slow breaking ball in, 1 ball, no strikes.
Buchanan went 1 1/3. Perfect baseball. Faced 4 batters, struck out all 4 that he faced.
The 1-0, Crutcher pops it up. Shallow right field, Layritz back, Williams in. Williams with the call and the catch, 1 down.
Now batting the right fielder, number 4.
Buchanan has been really good this year, and he's really impressed the scouts with his velocity. This was his best outing, I think, because he was just dominant. The 4 batters struck all 4 out, including 1, 2, 3 in the order in the 8th inning. And he got 4 strikeouts on 18 pitches. Very impressive outing for the big right-hander Buchanan.
And a very impressive outing if you're a Beavers pitcher tonight.
Chris Cruz takes a strike.
Between Kumis and Buchanan, they've struck out 12 Unicorns batters.
The 0-1 is low to Cruz, 1-1.
And have limited the Unicorns to only 2 hits.
Kumis struck out 8, Buchanan 4 strikeouts. Kunick got the first out here, and now delivers low to Cruz, 2-1. Each team scored its lone run in the second and did it on a solo homer. The 2-1. Cruz rips that ball. Deep right field. It's gone, a home run. Wow. And that is your ball game. Chris Cruz with 2 solo home runs in this one. And that one, the game winner on a line drive down the right field line. Deep and out of here. Chris Cruz, the game winner, and the Utica Unicorns prevail 2-1 over the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers.
Walked it off, young man. Went 2 for 3 tonight, 2 dingers. Second home run of the game for Chris Cruz.
His solo home run in the second inning tied the ball game 1-1. And his solo home run in the bottom of the ninth wins it for the Utica Unicorns. 7 home runs now in the year for Chris Cruz. All the offense in the ball game on solo home runs. Miles Williams homering back in the second inning. And that one, the game winner here tonight. A walk-off winner for Chris Cruz and the Utica Unicorns, who are now 17-22 with the victory. The Beavers have lost 5 straight. They see their lead slipping in the USPBL. They're down to 21-17. Chris Cruz, the hero here tonight. A couple of solo home runs, including the walk-off game winner. Utica 2, Beavers 1, your final score. Totals, highlights, and more in the postgame show, which comes your way next.
Tennis balls. Everyone
Welcome back, everybody. Chris Cruz with the walk-off winner here. It was a close game, but somebody had to lose it, and the final is 2-1 in favor of the Utica Unicorns. Akers, the winning pitcher, excuse me. He's now 2-1, while Neil Koenig drops to 0-3 on the season.
Yeah, ball game where both teams' pitchers were really sharp. A pitcher's duel throughout. Just a total of 6 hits in, 7 hits in the ball game. Both pitching staffs were sharp, but 3 of those 7 hits were solo home runs. The Miles Williams homer for the first score of the game, but then Chris Cruz following with the game-tying shot in the second and a game-winning shot in the 9th inning. Birmingham Bloomfield drops to 21-17. They score a run on 4 hits, play error-free baseball, 7 men left on base. Utica 2 runs on 3 hits, an error, and 5 left on base. Game took just a shade under 2.5 hours. Chris Cruz with homers 6 and 7 in the year, and Miles Williams with home run number 7 of the year. And both teams' pitching staffs were sharp. We talked about how impressive Birmingham Bloomfield was with the 12 total strikeouts for their pitching staff. Forrest Kumis was really sharp, striking out 8 over 6 2/3 innings, 1 run on 2 hits. And Donnie Murray, 6 innings, just 4 hits allowed and a run. Andrew Potter was quick and efficient with a scoreless inning of work. Mitch Aker with 2 scoreless innings of work, wiggling in and out of a jam in the 8th and being dominant in the 9th inning. And then Neil Koenig takes the loss, giving up the game-winning home run by Chris Cruz. And it's a ballgame that had just a little bit of everything. Well played, good pitching duel, and good enough offense, including 3 of the long balls in this one.
This has been one of my favorite games to watch here at Jimmy John's Field so far this season. Not one of those blowout games that we've almost come accustomed to seeing here. There's a lot of them here, and this is more my cup of tea, a pitching duel, low-scoring game, walk-off fashion. And this game, you're right, it had a little bit of everything. But one thing I wanted to mention is just how critical base running is in this game. Nick Wilson had that blunder, I believe back in the 6th inning, where he singled, but he was picked off just one batter later when DJG hit one deep to left field. And Wilson was rounding second as it was caught, later thrown out trying to go back to first, and what could have been one of the Beavers' best scoring attempts of the ballgame.
The youths circling the bases right now, and kids get a chance to run the bases after every USPBL game. And then the crowd being presented with the post-game fireworks as well, and the pyrotechnicians currently setting up in center field, getting ready for the post-game fireworks. This was a fun one. 2-1 your final score. Chris Cruz, the walk-off home run to right field, giving Utica a 2-1 victory over the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Remember, a doubleheader tomorrow. 2 games, both will be 7-inning games, but one will start at 2 o'clock and one will start at 7:25. So come on out and catch some USPBL baseball on Saturday tomorrow, 2 o'clock game 1 and 7:25 game 2. That'll do it from here at Jimmy John's Field. We thank you for spending part of your Friday with us being Casey Harris and Brad Golder. But thank you for joining us from Jimmy John's Field. Again, Utica 2 and Birmingham Bloomfield 1 is your final score. Have a great day, everybody.
Casey Harrison signing out. Have a happy Friday, everybody.